Hey everybody, welcome back to the Saturn Slam review for another edition of NXT. This time it was February 14th, Valentine's Day,
Ash
2018.
Wednesday for the Catholics out there.
Was it
Yeah, out
Ash
there.
Wednesday? Okay.
It was.
The only
And that means
reason
Tuesday was Mardi
Fat
Gras.
Tuesday, yeah. New Orleans is
No one
still
cared.
destroyed. The only reason I ever knew it was Ash Wednesday is because we had those kids at school who would put the ash on their foreheads. We'd be like, oh, okay, so that's why you look ridiculous today.
It was funny because I looked at a reading last night, and the whole point of like the gospel lesson was like don't be like showing it when you're out doing good stuff for Lent. Yeah, keep it on the down low.
Well, much like many of the teachings of the Bible, Christians very much ignore it. um,
What a good foot to start out on
yeah,
of this wrestling show.
popping shots at religion on our wrestling show. Just total slam dunk home run can't miss decision there.
We out here.
Yeah, we out here um saying that this episode of NXT was pretty good.
Yeah.
Bookended by title matches. One of which was, there. The other of which was pretty good. Yeah, so
Started off with
Yeah.
champion Pete Dunne versus Roderick Strong.
yeah, we had a United Kingdom Championship match between Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong, and it was good. They got all their shit in.
Yep.
And it was a good match. Not quite. I feel like it could have been a little bit better. I think if you gave these two like 5 more minutes on a takeover, they could tear the house down. But
Yeah, I think if it was a little longer, it probably would have hit the main event again. Probably would put it in that slot.
yeah, so it was fine for what it was. Pete Dunne won with the bitter end. And it was it's a good match. I wouldn't say, go out of your way to watch it, but, if you're watching NXT anyway, you're going to be, pleased by it.
Yeah, they did the shit they do. Pete Dunne defingered Roderick Strong, and Roderick Strong hit a bunch of backbreakers. A stronghold.
And then they sold it. He sold his hand quite a bit. He had several times where he lost his grip because of his fingers hurting too much. So they worked a nice coherent wrestling match where the things they did played into the finish, which is always nice to see. 3 1/4 star.
3 stars. Yeah.
They confirmed Gargano versus Almas 4 for next week. We get a recap of Johnny's promo leading to it. We'll see what happens. I'm predicting Gargano wins by DQ following Tommaso Ciampa interference. Although that would make 2 weeks in a row where they pretty much did the same finish. So I'm not as confident in that prediction anymore, but I don't know how else you handle it. Unless you just have Johnny win, which then what do you do with Aleister Black? Like,
Call him up.
yeah, you could call him up any day. You could call him up, and it would be fine. But
You gotta. I feel that's like a double-edged sword. If Regal just starts thinking like, oh, what if every time we write ourselves into a corner, we just call somebody up.
This might be a situation where Vince is like, I want this Almas guy on SmackDown or Raw. I don't care what your plans are, and they might have to get the belt off of him so he can come up. Or, I mean,
Come on at Fastlane.
although it's happened in the past where they've been called up while NXT champion, that's actually fairly common, and they do the honors on the next takeover. But I guess we'll see. The fake media caught up with Velveteen Dream backstage. He has a match with No Way Jose next week. Jose can bring the fiesta. He'll bring the experience. That's it.
Velveteen Dream is starting to become my new Cesaro for this generation, this class of NXT. Cesaro will always be Cesaro. But Velveteen Dream, man, he's winning me over.
Yeah, he's doing well. Even like I remember him from Tough Enough, and he got voted off in the middle of the season. I'm like, well, clearly wrestling fans have no idea what makes a good wrestler if he got voted off at any point in this competition. But he got voted off pretty early, and I thought he had the most potential out of all of them, but I didn't think he'd reach this heights, especially this quickly. You know, he's been under contract for like 3 years, and he's already, you know, as good as he is, so young also. Yeah, he's got himself a bright future, that's for sure. He called out Tyler Bate, said all 5 feet nothing of him, and he doesn't think that he can hang with him. That's a match that I wouldn't mind seeing.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're building to it. Of course, I hope they blow it off before TakeOver, because I still want Velveteen Dream versus Ricochet at TakeOver. Make it happen.
Yeah, boys.
Aleister Black came out in formal wear.
Yep.
Always kind of weird seeing him in a suit.
He's selling the Dark Priest thing. I was like, you gonna tell us?
Fucking the Sinister Minister over here.
Pretty much.
Hold on, let's see. He says his path has always led one way, to a sensation, an experience, and pushed his limit to face an era. Get it? Now there's a devil on his back driving him. That devil is the NXT Championship. It's driving him to possess. And then Killian Dane comes out, bagpipes blazing. Mara reminds us that they were both in the Fatal 4-Way that Gargano won for the title shot. In case you forgot.
That is true. You guys remember? Don't remember.
I understand there's new viewers every week, but wasn't that long ago.
You know, and I mean, it's good that they're doing something with the rest of the fallout from the Fatal 4-Way. You know, they were just like, here's an excuse to get Johnny to fight Andrade.
And Lars Sullivan should be back at the next set of tapings. He's had some knee problems. And I read a pituitary gland issue, which is interesting, if true.
It's got gigantism.
He's not that big, though. He's like, I mean, he's not small by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not like Andre or Big Show guys who have had pituitary gland issues.
Not where you see him.
Yeah.
I'm saying. He's got penile gigantism. You heard it here, folks. Lars Big Dick Sullivan.
I'm pretty sure his tights would tell the story there.
So it started getting more elaborate, the folding maneuver. You know,
I was about to say, even if he took like extra time to like fold it acutely, like it would never stay. It would eventually shift, and you'd be like, well, why did the front of his trunk shift 45 degrees? You'd be able to tell, is my point.
I am now receiving entirely too much imagery of Lars Sullivan's jock area.
This is
entirely my fault. Yes. What curse
so anyway,
is this?
Killian Dane says that he wants the NXT title, essentially, and there's no devil on his back. He is. Black's like, well, that's just totally your opinion, man. And said that he crossed and now he has to fade to black. So probably going to see a Killian Dane, Aleister Black #1 contenders match at some point in the near future. Probably the next set of tapings, and then Aleister Black will likely win that match, freeing up Killian Dane to wrestle Lars Sullivan at the next TakeOver. So that seems to be how that's going to shake out.
Yeah.
TM61 had a match. They defeated John Schuyler and Andrew Duckworth via pinfall following their Thunder Valley move. I'm not even sure what I would call it. It was pretty much a squash match. Nick Miller looked a little bit more than useless in this match, so that's good. This was more of a showcase for him, and he had some moves, but they weren't like overly impressive.
Yeah, TM61 has some ways to go. I think we said this the last time we saw their match, but
yeah. So the thing is, like, when they first came in, they were banking on you knowing them from the indies when they were TMDK, and they were pushing how great they were, but really they weren't that great. They were maybe above average. Like, I remember they were in the finals of the Dusty Rhodes Classic against the Authors of Pain, I think. And I remember being far more impressed with the Authors of Pain than the TM61, even though Shane Thorne working with a bum knee was pretty gutsy. So respect there. But as far as the wrestling goes, they're good, not great. And I hope they put effort into improving and don't just feel like, well, we've got it figured out.
Maybe they need like they need to like have I want to say like a real tag team match, against some higher tier folks.
Well,
Maybe
I'm sure
it's
coming. It's coming. It's got to be coming. They're going to be starting the Dusty Rhodes Classic again soon. It's that time of year, so
maybe TM61 versus Street Profits. It's a good starting point. It's a stepping stone.
I have zero interest
for both of them.
In that,
they're both trying to step up, and which one's gonna?
I don't need to see Montez Ford and his weird nipples sell for 5 minutes, and then Angelo Dawkins make the worst hot tag in the history of hot tags.
I'm calling it now. TM61 v Street Profits pre-show Fastlane.
Oh, that's the thing. Fastlane's main event is no longer a three-way between Styles, Owens, and Zayn. It is now a five-way with Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin added into the mix, and the match.
Oh, I think I heard something about this.
Far worse for it. And like, what sense does that even make? Why does Dolph Ziggler deserve a title shot?
Why is Dolph Ziggler still ziggling?
He signed another contract too. 2 years. 2 more years. And he's making $1.5 million a year. For what exactly, I'm not sure. He definitely does not generate that much revenue. Yeah, it's crazy. Fucking
Dolph Ziggler. What's my thing?
Last time he was in a title match on SmackDown, he vacated the title and walked out. So why the fuck are you putting him in another title match? Doesn't make any sense. Anyway,
they got something on it.
That's fucking SmackDown. I'm angry because I was looking forward to that 3-way, and now I have to fucking deal with
filler
5-way
filler boys
with fucking boring Corbin and Dolph. I should have retired 3 years ago. Ziggler.
So this match, TN61, that was call 1.5 stars for me.
Yeah, it was a quick squash, one star. I don't know. They didn't look lost. My favorite part of this match was when they hit Thunder Valley and Shane Thorne almost forgot to pin the guy. Was too busy posing. He's like, "Oh wait, I'm the legal man. Gotta cover him."
We don't want any unintentional Disco Infernos.
No, only intentional Disco Infernos. We should bring Disco Inferno back.
Yeah.
Put him in this Cruiserweight Championship tournament on 205 Live.
No, you have to copy his gimmick onto a woman wrestler and call her the Trap Queen.
Yeah, sure. Give it to Sonya Deville. She needs
Sure.
She needs a new gimmick. once Ronda Rousey comes in, it's going to kill her MMA fighter gimmick.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey contract signing for Elimination Chamber. Ooh boy.
Great. Oh, she's going to be Elimination Chamber? Okay.
She's going to be at Elimination Chamber. She will not be in the
Right.
Elimination Chamber.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Elimination Chamber is shaping up to be a pay-per-view.
Will they have Brock suspended from a shark cage in the middle of the chamber?
Brock's not working Elimination Chamber. Don't be silly.
It's a perfect gig. You can just sit there and you throw a brass knuckle down.
I'm
No,
sure.
get Dolph. Just get Dolph Ziggler in the shark cage. Can you just be in shark cage for all future matches? He doesn't have to ever come down. Just be the fucking hood ornament of SmackDown, Dolph.
It's probably the best use for him at this point in time. Then we had Shayna Baszler and Ember Moon in a rematch of their classic at TakeOver Philly.
Yeah. So I proposed to Kurt that if this match goes full time, we were doing over under of 7 minutes. Kurt went for an easy over, and proportionally, I think it would have been right because this was, for the time it lasted, the armbar covered about a third to a quarter of the time.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming the scales.
It was like this match went for all of 7 minutes with the commercial break. And I believe Peter said that there was an armbar for a minute of it.
Yes.
So of televised match time, so like 5 minutes of it, a minute was an armbar. So that's a fifth of the match was an armbar.
Shayna Baszler, 20% armbar.
Yeah. Oh god, don't throw out percents. We'll get Scott Steiner coming in and give us some half lesson.
I would rather watch Ember Moon face Scott Steiner.
God. Even Scott Steiner, who can barely move, I would not want to see tiny Ember Moon in there with that man. He'll try an overhead belly to belly and fucking kill the girl.
He'll call her Amber Moon.
Amber Moo.
I'll take you down, Amber Moon. I
Amber
don't
Moo.
believe.
He doesn't believe in finishing syllables. It'd be Amber Moo.
I'll be the next NXT Women's Champion.
Championship. Hailing from a highly educated university. Anyway, this match was pretty much just the armbar. Ember Moon hit a tope, and she sold her arm by shrieking at the top of her lungs.
Yeah.
This needs to stop.
Also, what was that tape job? Is that a thing? Or is that just like...
She just raided Cesaro's locker and was like, I'm going to use the K-tape too, because Bayley and Cesaro use it, and I have to sell my arm.
And she tapes it down the length of her arm.
Yeah, the science on K-tape is dubious at best, and I think...
You just draw sigils on your skin with it, and it grants you superhuman abilities.
Yeah, it's a fucking dark ritual. Just fucking putting the symbols on your arm, summoning the healing power of Cthulhu.
The K stands for copper.
But so this, yeah, it was basically just the tope and an armbar, and then Kairi Sane rather casually marches from the audience, just opens the barricade a little bit, marches through, climbs on the step, gives an elbow to Baszler, beats on her for a little bit, and then she and Ember walk out together. So it was a disqualification finish with a babyface interfering on behalf of the other babyface in a championship match. This sort of thing usually doesn't happen on NXT.
No. It's a strange beast. To finish the show.
Yeah, to finish the show, no less. Fuck finishes are rare, and much less in the main event of your television show. It was bizarre, but they do it so infrequently that I wasn't super mad about it. And honestly, if it saved me from another 2 minutes of armbar, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this
Like
will
a
lead
supermodel
to
having a cheat day.
Yeah, I'm assuming this will lead to a match between Sane and Baszler, a rematch of the finals of the Mae Young Classic, which critics hailed as a match that happened. It wasn't that bad, but I wasn't overly impressed. I was actually overall very disappointed in the quality of match from the Mae Young Classic. I know it might be unfair to compare it to the Cruiserweight Classic, because those are some of the best wrestlers in the world that were in that tournament. But a lot of the girls they brought in were not ready for prime time. The match quality wasn't fantastic, and
I feel that you can compare it if they're gonna fucking sell it as equal, like they're trying to sell this shit for like.
But it's different though. Like at some certain points, women, the difference in physiology between men and women is gonna affect what you can really safely do in the ring. I think the women should try a little less to like wrestle the same style the men do, and like try to play to their strengths. Like they're probably mostly all more flexible than the male roster, so they should do more Northern Lights suplexes and wacky roll-ups and covers to show off that they're bendy, rather than try to do like power moves and fucking Phoenix splashes and shit like that.
Slam people through tables.
Yeah, don't try to put each other. If you're 90 pounds and the person slamming you is like 130 pounds, don't try to put someone through a table. It's not going to work.
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at Hell in a Cell.
That was just the worst. They tried it like 4 times. And that was supposed to be the finish too, because she went out of nowhere by hitting natural selection. Anyway, that was that.
So give this 1.5 stars.
Yeah, it's generous. I give it a star. Yeah, so we'll see where this goes. Hopefully, I don't know. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to do Ember versus Kyrie, babyface versus babyface at TakeOver, but at the same time, they kind of did the same thing with Ember and Asuka, even though Asuka, I maintain, was a heel for like all their NXT run. But they did the same thing last year, so they can do it. That's a much better match than Shayna Baszler and Ember Moon. I suppose they can do some sort of 3-way, but I don't know. I just don't really have any interest in seeing Shayna Baszler wrestling for the NXT Women's Championship again.
Yeah. Why did she just like she came onto the scene and she was just immediately like, I'm gunning for the championship. She didn't have squash matches. She didn't have mid-card stuff.
She had one squash match. She squashed Dakota Kai.
That is right.
But yeah, I don't know. The whole Mae Young Classic felt like a vehicle to get her over, because at the time, everyone assumed they were going to do the Horsewoman versus Horsewoman angle for WrestleMania. But that never happened. So they're like, well, let's put Shayna Baszler in NXT. And we'll push her very fast, because she looks physically, she's much larger and stronger than all the women down there, really. I mean, she's
got a presence.
The only one taller than her or the same height would be Bianca Belair, but she is far scrawnier than Shayna Baszler is. So she looks legit, and typically you tend to push that, but in terms of match quality for women's championship matches of days gone by in NXT, she's not there yet. She wasn't there yet in the Mae Young Classic. They protected her by having her win quickly in pretty much all their matches, but she's not there yet. I don't know how long she's been wrestling. It's possible she'll get a lot better. That being said, she's 37 years old. I don't see why she can't wrestle into her mid-40s. I mean, Jericho's 47, and he had a 5-star match this year. But Shayna Baszler ain't Chris Jericho. So we'll see how that works out for her. I mean, I don't have anything against her. I'm not like, oh, I hope she stays sucky forever. And I like good wrestling, so I don't want to have bad wrestlers on there. So I hope she improves. But right now, she's not quite there.
Not just enough. Yeah, there is potential there. I can feel it. It's under the surface.
Yeah, she just needs to learn a few things. Well, how to cut a promo is her first priority. Yeah. Her selling needs to improve a bit. She's not too bad. I mean, for how many matches I've seen her had, she's actually pretty good in that department. And she needs to learn a couple more moves.
Yeah. Like if she had like some finisher like the Ace of Spades or some shit, that sounds like a cool. Like I don't even know what the fuck that finisher would be, but she needs like something. Give her
like
in there.
A fucking. I mean, she should use more submissions.
Yeah.
If she's the submission magician. Ace of Spades, she's big. Give her like the fucking torture rack or something like that.
Yeah.
Call it the Ace of Spades and fucking have her win a lot of matches like that. It worked for Lex Luger. Got him over big.
Yeah.
So yeah. There you go, Shayna. Use the torture rack.
Got it.
That's our friendly advice. And maybe work in a couple of suplexes. Like, I mean, I guess maybe not a fisherman's because Peyton Royce is using that as a finish. But like, dragon suplex or Northern Lights, I think would work well in your moveset. You need a throw, I think, and that would be nice. So yeah, that was this episode of NXT. Opener was really good. TM61 match was okay for what it was. It was a squash. I liked the Aleister Black promo. And the Shayna Baszler Ember Moon match at least advanced the storyline. So not a bad episode of NXT, but not nothing that'll blow you away. We'll see what next week looks like. Also next week we will be bringing you our retro pay-per-view review of ECW Living Dangerously 1999. After that, retro pay-per-views will be 1997 WWF pay-per-views. We're going to watch through all those because it's apparently one of the better years WWF has ever had. And then after that's done, we'll think of something else to do, but we'll have plenty of time to do that because I believe there's 8 1997 pay-per-views. And if we do one a month, even if we do more than one a month, that will give us at least like 3 or 4 months to think of something else.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it for now. We'll be back with Living Dangerously. No Elimination Chamber, as our boycott of Raw continues. We will watch Elimination Chamber probably, but there will be no review or predictions. I'll give my thoughts on it on the next episode after it, very briefly. But yeah, get ready for Roman Reigns to win the Men's Elimination Chamber and challenge Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Have someone suspended from the ceiling, have him spear him off the ceiling into a chamber. Incredibly dangerously.
Yeah, interestingly enough, they've got 7 people in the Men's Elimination Chamber, so I don't know how that's going to work. Are they going to stick 2 people in a pod, or are they going to start as a 3-way?
Start as a 3-way would be
that would probably be the better way to do it. But yeah, Jason Jordan's hurt. He's going to miss WrestleMania, probably. So Seth Rollins needs a new direction. Poor Seth Rollins, man. First Dean Ambrose goes down, then Jason Jordan goes down. Fucking keep Roman Reigns far away from Seth Rollins if you want WrestleMania to go off the way you planned it for a year.
Nice, dude.
Oh my god. If fucking Roman got hurt, like right before WrestleMania, and we had to go through this shit for another fucking year, I don't know what I'd do.
Get it out of the way. Roman, you need to be in perfect health.
Wrap Roman Reigns in bubble wrap from now until April 8th.
Roman, Bubble, the guy with the safest face. Roman, bubble, he lives in the safest space.
Anyway,
That was
that's
my
going to do it for Saturn Studs, or Saturn Slam, excuse me, review. Listen to the Saturn Studs podcast, available afternoons on Saturday. We'll catch you next time with Living Dangerously.
Peace.